Well, hello, friend.
Hi,
How are you?
I am blessed. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Are you excited for this new journey?
Oh, yes. I couldn't have asked for a better person to do this with, or even a
Me
better
too.
time.
Yeah,
So I am extremely excited and looking forward to the journey.
good. By the way, hello. If you're watching at home, hi, my name is Tando,
And I'm Beauty.
and this is our new podcast. And our podcast is Sip and Chat with Beauty and Tando.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that name?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, you created the name. It's your
I did.
Yeah, it's your thing. How did you come about it?
Just thinking about how beautiful our names actually are. I mean, beauty, that it's self-explanatory, and then Tando, I mean, that's love. That's beautiful.
And then we're sipping and chatting.
And chatting, because I think
Yeah.
this is a place where we really want to unpack
Right,
everything.
right.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of unpacking,
Okay.
I know you've been here for a while. Can you just walk us and the viewers through your journey being here, how you ended up deciding to leave South Africa and to end up in the US?
Okay. Yeah. So for those who are watching, again, my name is Tando. I'm from South Africa, Durban to be specific. I've been here for over a decade now. It's beautiful being here. It's an amazing experience. I think you would say the same too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it also has its challenges, which I think us creating this podcast is really going to unpack those beautiful moments and the challenges that we face on a daily being an immigrant in the US and trying to work your way up the career ladder, creating your own family. Because I came here when I was 20 by myself as an au pair. And the beauty is that you also have, we have similar experiences. You are an au pair as yourself, but you're going to tell your own story too. So, yeah, with this podcast, I think we're going to unpack a lot of, like I said, challenges that we face, that we embark on a daily, and the beautiful experiences and how we have navigated through those experiences and just life in general, an immigrant in the U.S. And obviously now I'm a U.S. citizen. I have a family. I'm married. I have a 6-year-old with a baby on the way. Get to know us more. So, what about you?
Girl. um, I guess I was just tired of South Africa. I was very worried about the job market.
Yeah.
I did go to school and I got my bachelor's degree. I got my honors degree. And my mom was talking to me about, you gotta go back for your master's degree. And I said, can I at least take a year gap and, let me travel the world a little bit before I pursue my master's degree. And I stumbled across the au pair program.
Yeah. I feel like, excuse me, I don't mean to cut you, but I feel like a lot of people were either in college, because I know I was in college too. And one of the girls back in the day I used to know, she was already here, but I went to college. And so, yeah, I feel like a lot of au pairs were either in college or they were about to graduate high school and they stumble across the au pair program. Yeah. So,
yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
I feel like in our communities, especially when you come from Gasi and stuff like that, they don't know about these opportunities, or if they know, they don't really share these opportunities to other people. So I mean, I'm grateful to shout out Rifilwe, whose sister actually was an au pair in New Jersey, and she was my roommate. I happened to see her bag still having the airport tags. And I said, oh, so you've been overseas? And she's like, my sister has been overseas. overseas. She was an au pair.
Oh,
Then I'm like, oh, do you mind if
what
I
is
talk
that?
to your sister?
Did you even know what it was?
Honestly, I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was overseas or had been here.
It sounded fun.
Oh, yeah. I was
Sounded
like,
interesting.
I need to talk to her. So we spoke and she gave me all the information and fast forward, here I am.
Yeah. How many years later?
15 years.
Yeah.
It's been 15 years.
That's
And
long, huh?
It's been long. It's been very long.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a journey.
Right.
It has not been easy, and I've been through a lot in this country, you know.
I think we all have in different ways.
Yeah. We all have, and you know, other people are more blessed than others where they had some aunties maybe that have been here, or they had some church members that have been here.
And you know what? It's mostly with West Africans.
Yes.
You know, they have all the family support here. For us Southern Africans, we're all on our own. I mean, now we're not, because we have our own families and we have friends, you know. We no longer see each other as friends, but more so like family. Yeah.
Because I remember when I came, I lived with a Nigerian family in California.
Oh, that was your au pair family?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I lived in San Francisco.
Okay. How was that? How was the experience?
Oh. I feel like I was in Nigeria. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean.
I'm not laughing at Nigeria, but I'm just laughing at like trying to picture the experience, like the lifestyle, you know, the food and the culture. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, it was. To be quite honest, the family was nice.
Okay.
The husband was nice.
Yeah.
The kids were nice.
Okay.
The woman, she was nice at the beginning, up until we went to. So, let me put it to you this way. Part of the reason why she needed an au pair, the husband was going to Jamaica to go open a chain of stores, Payless. I think they shut it down now. But there's a store called Payless Shoes where they sold relatively affordable shoes.
Payless.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it had some orange color on the whatever, you know.
Yeah, their branding had some orange in it, and I think they had one in Tyson's.
They did.
More.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. I used to go there as au pair. That's all we could afford at that time.
Yes, they do sell very cheap shoes and very uncomfortable at the same time. I'll be the first one to admit. So I stayed with them. So the husband, they had an opportunity to go open chain of stores in Jamaica. And the lady had 3 kids. She was 43, 44 at the time, had 3 kids. The youngest was 3, 5, and 13. No, 3, 5, and 15. So I came in as their au pair. When I was going through...
you were not taking care of the 15-year-old.
I was doing her laundry.
What?
Yes. It gets worse. So, if you think that's bad, that's nothing. I would do that all day long.
Wow. Yeah.
But, you know...
at 15 years old, I
you
feel
should
like
be able
you should
to do
be
everything.
A boy or girl?
It's a girl.
Yeah, at 15 years old, you should be able to do your own laundry. Because I think when you're an au pair, you were in your early 20s too, right?
I was.
So, yeah, you were not that
old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I feel like the lady, she probably thought, you know how, I'm sorry, Nigerians, we love you guys, you know, you are our people. But you know how in Nigeria, how they treat their helpers?
Yeah.
I don't want to call them maids because that's disrespectful. In South Africa, we refer to them as our helpers. So I'm going to use the same term. You know how if you watch Nigerian movies, you will see how they treat their helpers. They really don't treat them that good most of the time. I'm not sure. I've never been to Nigeria. I don't know.
This is just based on the movies.
It's just movies. Oh, yes. oh, it's real life, but I'm gonna speak from what I have seen in the movies.
Yeah.
If
So
it's
don't
not
come
true,
for us, please.
if it's not true, please correct the narrative and show us a more positive perspective of having a helper in your household. So I think the lady just thought I was one of the helper, that I didn't read my contract, that was uneducated, that didn't know what was going on. And she had all these extra things, expectations that she wanted me to do. For example, she would say to me, oh, on Friday, you get off at 6 p.m., but I expect you to be in the house at 8 p.m. If you are not in the house at 8 p.m., then don't come back.
Ma'am, excuse you.
Hello.
I'm off the clock.
I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And when you
I can respect your house
rules
and but 8 o'clock.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
if
you get up at 6.
You get up at 6, you still need to take a shower. You still need to
get yourself together.
Yeah. And you need to take, like, you can't even watch a movie within that time frame that she gave you, right?
Yeah.
So I had a problem with things like that.
I would too.
And the other thing, which was very big for me, she was like, oh, when my kids are taking a nap, that means you are off the clock. And I was like, excuse me? While I'm still in the house, I am not off the clock because I'm still in the house. I'm still watching the kids, even though the kids are sleeping. And, she started...
I mean, that's the whole part of the job is for you to, feed the kids.
Yes.
And, and then put the kids down for naps. And
so during the day at 2 p.m. when the kids are napping, according to her, I'm off the clock, but I cannot leave the house.
So she expected you to do other chores?
She did. I was cleaning the whole house except her bedroom because that was my responsibility as a family member.
To clean the whole house?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And
you were living like a slave.
Thank you.
And you were just an au pair.
I was just an au pair.
The contract says you specifically take care of the kids.
Yes.
You can help. I helped my host family too. I would help, you were supposed to do laundry, not me, but as au pairs, you're supposed to, it's part of the contract to do laundry for the kids, to take care of the kids, but not the whole household, not the mom and dad. Or
I was doing her laundry, and except her underwears and her bras, but I was doing her laundry. I was doing everybody's laundry. I was cleaning the whole house. Except her bedroom. And she went with the notion that, oh, as a family member, this is what I expect you to contribute to being
so
in
on
the
a
house.
Weekend, was she cleaning? Was she doing these chores?
No, I was the one doing them. Remember,
even on a weekend?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, for me.
So you know what she would do? Sorry to interrupt you. What she would do is, remember, she says when the kids are taking a nap, I'm off the clock. Because remember, the contract says you have to work 40 hours, right? So 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day. So when the kids are napping, then she takes those hours.
She adds them.
For the weekend. So for the weekend, she will put me to work like maybe for 4 hours or for 6 hours. And within that 6 hours or that 4 hours, she has a specific tasks that she wants me to do, which would be, okay, first thing, you have to give the kids a bath, and this is both a Saturday and Sunday, and she's home. She's a pharmacist. She's home both Saturday and Sunday. So the first thing, you have to give the kids a bath, and after you give the kids a bath, you have to give them breakfast. You have to, these were her exact words, you have to make sure the kitchen is spotless. Shout out to you, Miss G. You know yourself.
Don't.
I didn't say her whole name. Okay, I just said Miss G.
Okay, yeah.
So it could be anything.
Yeah.
She's like, the kitchen has to be spotless. And
but I mean, behaviors like that should be,
Girl, I
should be put on.
Oh, on blast.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, I did it for 4 months up until I got fed up. And when I got fed up, I contacted my area director. I told her, listen, I'm having some issues with the family that I live with.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you know, I'm gonna invite you to my house. Come to my house and let's sit down and let's talk. And then I said, you know, this lady doesn't even want me to use her car for my personal use. So even if I said I was coming to you, she would want to know why and stuff like that. So, and my area director said, don't worry about it. I will come and pick you up and then we'll take it from there. And she did. She came, she picked me up on Friday. We went to a restaurant for dinner and she said, okay, tell me what's going on. And I told her everything. She was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable.
It's not.
That's not okay.
What the contract says.
Yeah. And you know what she used to say? She used to say, oh, you know what, Beauty? If you live, it's not easy to live with other races.
So let me ask you, was this her first au pair?
This is the first family that I came here with.
But her.
Yes.
Were you her first au pair?
Mm-hmm.
So she was new to the program.
But you know what? I feel like she specifically chose a South African person, thinking that I would allow her to treat me that way.
The behavior.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there is no way.
Because I mean, au pair, for those who don't know, you know, it's girls all over the world.
Yes.
You know, Brazil, Germany, you know, Australia, Mexico. So, you know, I don't think those girls would be.
Exactly. I was even about to say, you know, I'm not making this a race thing, but I do know 100% for sure that she wouldn't have pulled those stunts for that long that she did with me if it was somebody from Germany or from wherever.
Yeah, from Europe.
You understand? Yeah. She wouldn't have done that. But I feel like she specifically chose me thinking she was getting to get more for her buck.
Yeah,
and I should understand that because I'm African.
Yeah, and she's doing you a favor.
Exactly. Yeah. And little did she know she met the wrong one. I was like, no, sis. Yeah. I am not the one or the two. Yeah. So we are not doing that.
Yeah.
And I switched to a Jewish family here in the DMV. And they were so nice, so lovely. They respected my privacy. The kids were amazing, very disciplined kids. I didn't have to clean. I didn't have to cook. I didn't have to do anything except...
Because, I mean, that's not part of the contract.
Exactly,
anyway,
yes.
You know, so you shouldn't be doing those things unless you and the family created a contract amongst yourself. Like for me, my host family, so as you know, we're supposed to do laundry anyways when it's an au pair. For the kids. And so they were like, well, if you want extra bucks, you can add mom and dad's laundry.
You are blessed. You are getting extra bucks for that?
Yeah, girl.
I got nothing for 4 long months.
So I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, I'm already doing laundry, you know, so you guys can bring your laundry, you know, it's just you two, you know, and they would pay me extra for that, you know. And they had cleaners who came, so I didn't have to do any of the. We shouldn't. It's not part of the contract. The contract says you're there to take care of the kids. You know, so I had an amazing experience. Honestly, my host family was really great, and they were here in Falls Church. It was a beautiful experience for me. I don't want to lie, but I did have friends in the au pair program that went through similar experience as yours, and it was brutal.
Yeah, it really is. And I do want to put it out there that if you are an au pair or you're interested in being an au pair, please read your contract.
Yeah, know your rights.
Make sure you understand. Do not be intimidated by being in America and people telling you stuff. If anything, talk to your area director and find out what you're supposed to be doing, what you're not supposed to doing, because trust me, you don't want to be a victim the same way that I was.
Yeah.
And when I did finally speak up, she got mad.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what your counselor is there for.
Yes.
You know, for things like this. So you don't get used, you don't get taken for granted. And, you know, so that's a good advice.
And you know what happened on top of that, Shomi? We went on vacation, right? We went to Las Vegas with them. We went to LA, and the husband was back from Jamaica for a little while. And when he came, we went to, I think we were in LA, and they invited their other friends at a restaurant. So we all went there. And I remember this other lady. She was so nice, very well put together, had a little baby.
Yeah.
And she happened to ask, "Oh, uncle, how is Jamaica?" Asking the husband. And the husband was like, "Oh, Jamaica is great. And even you, beauty, we have a lot of South Africans in Jamaica." The lady spit food out of her mouth.
Why?
I don't know if she was shocked that her husband was paying that much attention in Jamaica to you understand. So homegirl,
that's weird.
From that day, she became Evelina, okay? She officially became Evelina. She made sure that she was making my life a living hell.
Oh my God.
Yes. On top of everything that I was telling you about, she added more things for me to do. And now she was adding it under as an au pair, you're supposed to take care of all my kids. So you're going to be driving my 15-year-old around. You're going to be taking my kids to this. You're going to be doing this. Like literally, I would be as tired as a dog every night. And she did not even have
that low money. Can you imagine?
Girl, no extra nothing.
I mean, I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for the au pair program. You know what I mean? I'm grateful that it brought us here. But damn, that's a lot.
It was a lot. Honestly, it was a lot. I remember I used to cry a lot. That was the year that I really, really cried. And at some point, I was feeling like God has really abandoned me. And I trust, obviously, I'm a Christian. I trust God wholeheartedly. My faith is unmatched, So I was really feeling down, where I was like, God, you brought me here only for me to suffer. What is this?
Yeah,
Am I
you start questioning?
Yeah, I definitely did. I had a lot of questions, and at some point, I would even say I was depressed, because I remember I even lost weight. I lost weight because the lady made sure that she wasn't buying the food that I eat. I'm not from Nigeria. And obviously back then I wasn't exposed to the Nigerian culture as I am right now.
The food is different.
The food is different. I did not like the food and things like that. And she would intentionally go out of her way to starve me, for a lack of a better word.
I actually do like Nigerian food though now.
I do.
Yeah.
Now I like
jollof
Nigerian
rice
food. No, she didn't cook jollof rice. She cooked fufu, but it was brown. I've never seen the brown fufu, or if it's fufu or pounded yam or whatever. Ew. No okra for me.
No, I can't do okra.
The slimy stuff.
Yeah, the texture is just, it throws me off. I'm not a very big texture girl.
But I like the egusi soup.
On food.
Yeah, the egusi soup, I absolutely love it. I have one Nigerian friend, Izzy. I don't know where she is right now, but she used to make egusi soup, and she would make it so good. I like even the way they make their fish. Their fish is very good and stuff like that. But back then, you're fresh from South Africa. You are not exposed to a lot of things.
All is just South African
food.
Yeah.
So she would starve me and expect me to use my $195 to buy my own groceries.
Yeah, that's what the program pays.
That's what the program pays.
Can you imagine that?
And with that $195, if I buy food, then she would say, "Oh, beauty, you're part of the family. You have to share with everybody."
What?
So basically, I was working for nothing.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a horrible experience.
It was. It really was. But I'm grateful.
I'm sure they probably have kicked her out of the program now.
Because what she said.
I mean, if girls keep complaining about her, they will start investigating.
So when I was switching, when I was switching to another family, and I met this Jewish family,
Mm-hmm.
which I did have some concerns. Like, I'm a Christian, how am I going to live with the Jewish family?
Yeah.
I was concerned about that, but I took a leap of faith and said, you know what? Let me go and see what happens. It was better than living in Nigeria.
Yeah, because I mean,
So-
also, don't they give you like a time frame of when you should have rematch with the family?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and then if you can't find a host family
You go
within
back.
that 2 weeks, so you go back. So you kind of feel like
I had to.
You had to.
Correct.
You know? Yeah.
I did feel like I had to rematch,
Yeah.
or else I was gonna go back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I rematched with a Jewish family. They were very, very nice.
Speaking of having to, you felt like you thought you have to go back home. Choose whether to go back home. Yeah. That's another problem that we have here, like of people struggling and deciding and choosing to struggle here than back home. Would you do that? Like, if everything
I would. So here's my
collapse right now, God forbid, obviously, you lose everything. Would you rather go back home, South Africa, and struggle there, or would you rather suffer here?
I'm a believer of both, and simply because I feel like it would be, I have kids that the only thing they know is America. So taking them home would be a struggle. But do I feel like if I were to ever move back home, will I make it? Absolutely. I feel like America has equipped me with so much resilience that you can throw me anywhere in the world and I will survive. You can put me in freaking China.
Because I mean, America is really tough.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really tough, and it builds your muscles, you know. And at the same time, I don't know. I've never met anybody who has been here and does not have the responsibility of actually taking care of back home. Like, you come
black tax.
That black tax. I know people back home. Yes, they have it. But at least, even if you pay for your mom to take care of your son, she's doing something, right?
Yeah.
But some of us, we are here with our children and we are still paying the black tax.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what are you helping me with that makes me feel like I should be doing this for you?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we love our parents. We want to take care of them. But I don't think it should be an obligation, guys. I mean, I feel like it should be a choice.
Yeah, I mean, black tax, it's a huge topic that I don't think like there's a wrong or right answer though to it. I mean, I'm grateful that I feel like I don't have to take care of my parents, and I don't, you know. My mom and dad work, which I'm very grateful for. But I do have a house back home, so obviously the mortgage is on me to pay. So that's what I do, So is that considered black tax?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's yours.
Yeah. But again, when we buy our first home, we don't say it's ours. We say it's our parents. You give it to your parents. So
I have a problem with that.
I know. So are you that person? Are you that girl who wants to get her shit together first and then think about home?
I do.
Or you wanna think about home first and then take care of yourself?
No.
Because I feel like you should. I did it the opposite way. Yeah. My first house was back home, Second house, obviously, with the husband now, it's here. But if I had to do it again, I would probably do it the other way around.
Yeah.
I would get my house here first, make sure that, I'm stable here first, and before I even have a husband, not that obviously I bought this house because now I have a husband. We in America it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll buy my house here, make sure I'm stable here first, and then take care
of home.
Of home. You know, invest home. You know, to take care of parents back home, because you know when things go south, it's really for us here in the US. It's really hard. That's why I was asking you earlier. Are you the kind of person who would rather suffer back home, go back home, or just struggle here, continue struggling here? Because it's hard to go back home. People have so much expectations on us. You know, oh, you live in the US, oh, you have so much money.
No, we don't.
We don't. I mean, we afford our lifestyle, you know, we afford nice cars, you know, we afford, you know, decent clothing, beautiful homes, you know. We have for our lifestyle, we have careers, you know what I mean? Stable, decent careers. But it's still also not easy.
No, it's not. It's definitely not easy. But one thing that I will tell you, I've always been the child that wants to do more for my mom, for my family, and stuff like that.
Me.
But 2025, I prayed and I told myself that I really, really want my cup to overflow before I can extend myself.
Yeah.
And that's why
and that's beautiful.
I honestly, I've been giving all my life. I've been working overtime. I've been doing so much. But for 2025, I got to that place where I said, you know, I have done the most.
It's time to take care of
people.
Me.
Now I'm going to take care of me in all other ways possible. You know, I'm going to be very selfish with my time. If it's not meaningful, it's not purposeful, it's not educational or anything, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
If you call me about gossip, I ain't picking up. You know, it's not helping me. You understand?
Yeah.
So even with my money,
we do have friends like that.
We do.
Want to call when it's just gossip time.
Exactly.
They never check on you. Like, no. And I am not that person. Like, I like to check up on friends because you never know. Again, we're going to talk about our experiences here because obviously this is where we live.
Yes.
You know, you know, people, I feel like they don't check up on each other here.
No.
And that's very important. You know, like people go through a lot here. You have people that have been on the street homeless, you know, in homeless shelters. I can't even think.
But you know what, Chomi? On the other side, I know a lady who was in a situation like that at some point, and she finally got out. But because she got out, now
out of, like, she was homeless?
She was homeless with her children. And she finally got out of the situation and we became friends, right? During I think that was one of the most abusive friendships that I've ever found myself in.
Yeah,
because
you get those
all she did now.
And I'm sure people in South Africa or anywhere in the world where they're watching, they can relate to this. They can relate. So it's not just us here in the US. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So all she wanted to do was to take. And of which I feel like it's not fair.
No, it's not.
And I feel like as much as we have our own struggles and we go through a lot of things, I cannot revenge on you, Chomi, and now all of a sudden, because I know what it's like to be hungry, I don't want to pay for anything. It's always on you. Yeah. It's not nice. It's not a good spirit to have.
It's not.
And I know sometimes we tell ourselves that, okay, you don't want to be friends with certain people, or you don't care people's backgrounds or what they do for a living. You just a person that gets along with everybody. But sometimes the woman that I am right now, I'm like, I gotta protect myself. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
If you're gonna call me and ask me for money, I don't have. Don't ask me for no money. Don't call me looking for a place to stay. Don't ask me to co-sign anything for you.
Oh my God.
Like whatever it is.
Someone asked me to co-sign. Can you imagine?
That's crazy. That's
the
crazy.
nerve. I mean, that's crazy. That like your whole
life, pretty much.
I mean, is
because that will destroy you. That will destroy you. And
your credit score,
yes.
everything. If they stop paying, they decide, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna talk to her anymore. I no longer need her.
And they do that, friend. Let me tell you what some people do. Actually, I was talking to my other friend about this. We were talking about money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to her, I don't borrow my friend's money. Mm-hmm. She said, why don't you borrow your friend's money? I said, it's either I'm going to give it to you or I'm not going to do it at all. Because tomorrow we're going to get into a fight about money, right? So it's the best not to do it. Mm-hmm. And then she said, oh, but I said, I said, let me tell you. Sometimes as people, we also need to have those healthy boundaries where you know that I'm not going to go to Tando and ask Tando for money. Whether you have it or not, I should be respecting you enough to know my boundaries with you and my limits with you. But I feel like most people, they don't have that. Yeah. They
see, though, I'm okay with friends borrowing money.
Friends don't borrow money.
No, because like seriously, if your friend really needs help and you are able to help, it's okay to help. But now it shouldn't be a regular thing too.
My friend, I need help all the time. So I should be asking me for money.
Yeah, no, I don't mind like helping a friend, but it shouldn't be abused. That help shouldn't be abused. You know what I mean? Because I mean, obviously, we go through up and downs in life. You have broke moments. And being broke doesn't mean that you are poor. You're just broke, and I feel like everyone goes through that season.
And remember, the American broke is also not the South African broke. Mm-hmm. In most cases, I could be wrong, but I remember when I was in college. When I said I was broke, it means literally I had no penny. I had no money. But most of the time in America, when people say they are broke, they simply mean they have funds that they are not ready to use at that moment. Or they have funds that they don't want to use for that particular need. But it doesn't mean they are completely out. Unless if you are like really, really homeless and there's nothing to help you, like you have to really hold on to something. But friend, I still feel like people need to figure it out the same way. Don't ask me, figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole rule, you should have at least, they say you should have 6 months. 6 months. Yeah, 3 to 6 months of 3. Yeah, 3 to 6 months of your
living
expenses stashed somewhere. So should you run into these problems, then you are covered.
That's the thing.
Because I've had time where probably in 2015, I want to say, I was off work for like 6 months, and I had to pay my car note, I had to pay my rent. I was living by myself in this apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. But because I had 6 months, I kid you not, of my expenses saved, I was able to take care of myself. Okay. But on the 6 month, friend, I was like, Lord Jesus, please. But thank God, I know. But thank God I got a job. But you see how important that is. Like you really have to save up your money so that you don't run into these problems where now you're struggling or you're homeless. Yes, I mean things happen, obviously. But if you are able to please save, like some funds.
No, you have to. And when was it? I believe it was 2021. I took 4 months during the summer to stay home with my kids. So I did the very same thing. When I knew that, okay, this is summer, I want to spend time with the kids, I don't want to work and all of that, I started saving up money. And I did save 6 months worth of my expenses and stuff. And shout out to the baby daddy that was able to pull some strings here and there and put some money towards things that we needed. That really helped a lot. But I will tell you, I enjoyed that time so much that I didn't want to go back to work.
Yeah.
I felt like, you know what, God has called me to be a housewife. God has called me to be a housewife. I enjoyed my kids.
Yeah.
We did a lot of fun activities. We were at the pool a lot. We did a whole trampoline parks and, you know, drove into the Hershey Park in Pennsylvania and stuff, which was great. But like you say, when the 6 months approaches, then you're like, my account, my balance keeps dropping and dropping and dropping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had to do something at that point. But
which I can also even relate to that now, as you know, pregnant and I'm about to be due. Like I feel like what was I gonna say? I feel like maternity leave in the US.
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
It's a scam, Chumi.
It's a scam. I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but in the US, this FMLA
6 weeks.
6 weeks, and that's not even paid. You know what I mean? Like that 6 weeks is not directly paid by your employer. You know, if you don't have short-term disability, you're screwed,
girl.
If you don't have any savings, you're screwed. Because they'll give you FMLA, but even with that FMLA, you you only eligible if you've put in certain amount of hours. Or you've been with the company for at least a year. I'm like, shit, this is crazy.
It is.
Like, you would think America would do better.
I was ready to sue in 2023. I was ready to sue my job. I was ready to sue the hospital. And because of the same thing. So,
they want you to work.
They do.
Till you give birth.
And they want you to work till you die.
Yeah.
And you are
we don't get no time off.
No. And
my husband was like, "This is like American," and he's American. He doesn't know, and well, now he knows the South African experience. It's like, this is a scam. I need to bring this to our union, like having December off.
Yeah.
Like December is such a vibe in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
Like life is just so good in South Africa. Obviously, the economy, politics and crime, not so great. But just the culture, the vibes, the people, it's just beautiful. I mean, I know like this. Episode is all over the place, but we're talking about important things.
I mean, in South Africa, obviously we're going to be a bit biased to South Africa because we're from South Africa, and we love South Africa.
Yeah, but also we can take the good parts about America. We can take the good parts of being in America, about America.
Friend, tell me, what's the good part? Because I feel like I've been working since I've been here and no time off.
No, there are like some really amazing things.
Show me in America.
Okay. Well, number one, crime. There's no crime here. Like I leave my car with the keys inside. On my driveway.
Your area, friend, because you live in an area that's very expensive. Okay, go to DC and leave your car like that and tell me.
No, but we did live in DC too. Well, actually, my husband's truck got busted. The window got busted.
Exactly. And yesterday,
but still, friend, the crime rate is less in the US.
Yeah, compared to South Africa.
It's so scary. Like, when I walk around South Africa, I don't feel safe. I'm so scared. I'm terrified. I'm sorry. And I shouldn't feel like that. I should feel home because, I want to feel like I'm home. It's home. I want to feel safe.
But don't you think they will target you? Don't you think people intentionally would even target you? Because I don't know what it is.
The thing is, I don't tell people where I live. But like I blend in so well. No, friend, I do.
Let me tell you.
I'm serious.
You look different. You sound different.
No,
you can speak Zulu like it.
No,
I'm a Kaya, but Trust me, there
No,
is something
friend.
that will say that one does not
friend.
live here.
No, friend, no.
Really?
That's not true. No, yeah. I blend in. Like I grew up going to the villages because my mom and dad are both from the villages, but I grew up, closer to my mom's side of the family, which I feel like it's always like that.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm closer to my mom's side of the family than my dad's side of the family. I do have cousins that, like for me, I think it's more so the male cousins that I'm close with on my dad's side.
On your dad's side.
Yeah. And on my mom's side, oh my God, everyone is like my sister, and I'm the only child on my mom's side. I just feel so connected with them. Anyways, so yeah, when I'm there, whatever the villagers do, I do. If we have to go fetch water,
you go barefooted and stuff.
Barefooted, I used to go fetch logs. What do you call them?
Yeah, it is the logs. From the trees.
I used to go, ngesiZulu konje sibizane. See, she's not Zulu. Inkuni. Okay. Yeah, I used to go fetch inkuni.
What's inkuni?
Yeah, the trees. Yeah, the sticks. And bring them home, to make fire with my cousins. I used to fetch water, like I said. I used to, whatever they did, I used to do, and I blended in so well. Even when I came here, I would still, when I'm visiting back home, I'll still do those.
Do you still do those now, 15 years later?
Well, I mean, I don't go fetching wood.
Why?
Because it's just too, now that I'm grown, I realize how dangerous that stuff is. You're all the way in the woods, fetching wood, and they used to scare us and say that there are snakes there. No, now I wouldn't do that, especially women are being raped and, no, I wouldn't do that now. But yeah, back in the day, I used to do it. I would fetch water. I still do fetch water when I'm there. I still attempt for it, but for lack of a better word, mud on my face, clay. I used to put, like it's natural sunscreen. I still do that. The red clay you put on your face, yeah, you use it as sunscreen. I still do that. I still wear ipinifa. Ipinifa is the traditional dresses that African women wear. Okay. I still do those things. And I find beauty in that. Yeah. Like it's very grounding. Like that's where I feel connected. That's where I go to, to really ground myself and appreciate what I have. Because those people don't have what I have. And again, I'm very grateful that to God that I am where I am. I'm not where I want to be, but I am comfortable. You know what I mean? So all those things. Yeah, I still do. What were we talking about?
Because you know what happened, Chomi? I believe that was when my son was 9 months. There was a time when my son was young, my first son, and I went to South Africa, and we went to KFC. So I'm from a small town.
So we're talking about blending in, like
yes. So I'm from a small town called Botterville, right? It's in Free State. So I went to town with my son. He did not obviously he was not familiar with South African food because I don't cook South African food most of the time. I cook American food. So I took my son home and he wouldn't eat. So it was during the day. I said, let me take my son to KFC. We took a taxi. We went to KFC. When we got to KFC, even though I was communicating in my native language, I'm Sotho speaking, I was literally speaking in my native language, but people could recognize that I was not from there or I didn't live there. And
I mean, I guess because people know each other in the area because you're from a small town.
Yeah.
So people recognize each other. But I don't think it's because, you think it's because like, they just could tell that you're from the U.S.?
They just said I'm not from there, but it wasn't specific exactly where I was from.
Mhm.
But they were like, okay, you can speak the language. Okay, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
But there's something about you that says you're not from here.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with the small towns and the villages, the villages, people know each other in the villages, They know when you're not from there, like because you're a stranger.
Yeah.
They've never seen you before. So I feel like probably that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the lady was like, yeah, she was like, no, you're not from here. I'm like, this is my mother's name,
Yeah.
She's like, I know the woman. She's like, I know the lady. I've known her for years, and I know she does not have a daughter. She does not have a child like you, or a child your age. That lady does not even have any kids.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, my mom doesn't have any kids. Okay, I guess you know better than me.
No, see, my mom's village. I do know people, like the neighbors, and and they know me because I grew up going there. But if you put me like maybe 2-3 miles away from my mom's home, people probably wouldn't know me. But if I say I'm from so and so,
they'll be able to recognize
home. Yeah, they'll be able to recognize that name. And then know, like they would know my mom. They wouldn't know me, but they would know my mom. But I don't think they would immediately think that, oh, she's,
so-and-so's daughter.
Yeah. Oh, she's from the U.S. Oh, she's from. Yeah, they would know that. Okay, yeah, we don't know her. They would probably assume that I'm from Joburg or Durban, the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I try to blend in everywhere I go. But obviously, yeah, because of safety reasons too.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there and look glitz and glam, or start speaking in English.
Girl, I speak so too.
Yeah.
And I take public transportation.
See, I don't take public transportation. Why do you take public transportation?
For me, I did. I took public transport. I just wanted
to. Not that anything is wrong with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I did. I just, like you say, you know what? How when you put your clay or the mud on your face, it kind of grounds you. That's how I felt. I was like, let me take public transportation because at the end of the day, I don't want people to perceive me as a girl that thinks she's better than everybody else, or a girl that is whatever. You know how they may define people out there. I didn't want that.
Yeah, so, I remember actually the first time ever I went back home to visit. I did take a taxi just for the experience because I had missed it so much. Yeah, I remember doing that. Yeah.
I do. I mean, it's great up until here in the US. One of my friends was like, "Oh, if you have a Gucci bag and you take a taxi, that means that's fake." I was like, girl. I'm like, no. 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 But at the same time, for me, I always feel like you could drive Ferrari and you can still take the metro. You understand?
But that's here though.
I feel like even
I feel like the lifestyle back home is different. Like a person who drives a Ferrari does not want to be anywhere near public transport.
Okay.
Here it's different. Here we take metros all the time.
Yeah.
You take an Uber, you take public transportation, a bus, if you're going downtown DC, it's probably better to commute with public transport.
It doesn't make sense to drive all the way, be stuck in traffic in this area.
So I feel like it's different here.
Yeah.
With public transportation. And it's safe too.
Yeah. But back home, I honestly
and very efficient.
It is.
Very convenient. Like you have a metro.
But then you have a problem if you are valuing yourself based on what you have. If
true.
if you drive a Ferrari or you have a Gucci bag or a Louis and all of a sudden you think you are too good for public transportation, then there's a problem with you.
No,
Because those
true.
things are supposed to just they are not supposed to make you feel better or to add value to you, but they're supposed to just be self-gratification for yourself as a reward for your hard work. You understand?
Mhm.
Like right now, I don't want to mention any
But
of the things that are relatable to us per se.
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, if you drive a Ferrari, right? You can drive a Ferrari because you are rewarding yourself for the hard work. Not to drive a Ferrari
And you can
because you
afford it
feel
too.
like, yes.
Yeah.
Not because you feel like, oh, now I'm better than everybody else. I'm not gonna be seen in this area or this or that.
Yeah.
Then there's something wrong with you. You gotta go and do some soul surgery.
No, but I think it's like more of a safety issue back home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, like if you think about it, here anybody can drive an expensive car.
True.
Right?
If they can. No, false.
Hold on.
Not anybody.
Maybe I'm not explaining it. Like if you have a job here,
mm-hmm.
you have a job, you have a good credit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have money.
You do.
A bank can give you a car.
But friend,
any car that
how
you
many
want.
people do you know that can afford a
But
car for $1,200?
that's what I was gonna say though.
Yeah.
But now, can you actually afford that? Probably not.
Likely.
Yeah, not likely, because obviously you can buy the car, but the expenses that come with the car,
mm-hmm.
Servicing the car, the maintenance, exactly. Is a lot.
And even the car note itself is very high. Your credit, I feel like your credit can be high, but if your income is low, you still cannot afford certain things.
No, yeah, I'm not saying they can afford it. You can afford it, but
on paper, but not in reality.
Yeah, but a bank here is more likely to give you what you asking.
As a setup.
Then someone back home.
True.
Because like an ordinary Tando back home cannot afford a Ferrari. They will just laugh at me. They won't give it to me. But here, if I say, okay, here's my credit, here's my little deposit, down payment.
Much I make.
Here's how much I make. I want a Ferrari. They're gonna give it to you.
They will give it to you.
And then obviously I can afford it, and then they'll come and repo the car. But in South Africa, they will not even entertain you.
But in South Africa, don't you think that's even a safer system than what we have over here?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like that's how we ended up with this recession of 2008. People were buying houses that they were not affording.
Correct.
The bank were just giving people loans, and we ended up in 2008 recession. I think that's that was in high school. 2008. But yeah, so, and also going back to the public transportation in South Africa, a guy who then drives a Ferrari is not an ordinary guy. It's a guy probably who's a CEO, who have something, going for themselves. So that guy is not going to take a taxi. Versus here, an ordinary person can drive a Ferrari and still be comfortable taking a metro because it's also safe. It's convenient. And they're just an ordinary guy. They don't think like, they don't feel like, oh,
they're all that.
They are all that.
Because I feel like
it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I still feel like even if you are a CEO of whatever company, you drive a Ferrari, at some point you have to do the level groundwork.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the level ground workers take the metro. So in order for you to kind of relate and be like, okay, what is Tando really going through her day to day?
But do you think those guys want to relate?
They don't care. They really don't care. All they care about is just productivity and getting paid, and that's it.
Yeah, they don't profits care. And that's it.
Yeah.
But I want to touch base on trauma hustle. So Do you think that since we've been here this long and going back to your first experience, your au pair experience, which was not that great, it was terrible. Do you think that made you stronger and also encourage you to have this trauma hustle? Because I feel like trauma hustle is really can be a good. To me, I look at it as a positive thing.
Yeah.
It's the trauma of not wanting to be there, like not wanting to go back to, starvation, to the struggle. And I'm sure we've all been there before, in the US.
Yeah.
We've been through some shit. You know what I mean? It's either career-wise, your job-wise, relationship-wise. We've all just been through shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just also the, people living in the US, but it's anybody can, anybody can relate to this. So for me, struggle hustle has really pushed me, has impacted my life so much because I think about it as like, damn, I'm here by myself. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to end up homeless on the street, in shelters, or have the government support me. You know what I mean? And I only have me.
Yeah.
To fall back on. I don't have a plan B. I am plan A and plan B. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about trauma hustle?
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
Because it always keep you on your toes.
Right.
Like, there are some people that can relax and know that when things don't work out, I can always go back home. When things don't work out, I have,
you don't have that here.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And because we don't have that, this is part of the reason why we are here. You understand? We continuously try to find ways to better ourselves, to have multiple streams of income, to do whatever it is that is necessary to make sure that we provide for our kids. At some point, I did not value a dog. I didn't see, I was a person that just worked, and I had this belief that, what, you work for money and it comes and it goes. But the older I get and the more I realize how afraid I am of ever losing anything. I don't know if you know this, but 2017, I used to drive a Mercedes CLA 250. It was red.
Yeah, I remember that.
And this is how I lost my car. I dated some guy who, when I met him, I wasn't driving the car. I was driving Mazda 3. No, let me rephrase. Mazda 6. It wasn't a 3, it was a 6. I was driving a silver Mazda 6. And while we were together, I went ahead and I bought this car, the red CLA Mercedes-Benz. When the guy saw me driving this car, the guy literally cried tears out. His ego was bruised. He felt like, how dare I outdo him? How dare I go and buy a Mercedes while he drives a Toyota? Who the hell do I think I am? Right? So fast forward, couple of months later down the line, I believe it was probably 10 months, if not 11 months down the line, I lost my job. And when I lost my job, I was now living with homeboy. And, I'm expecting you as a man to step in and be like, you know what, babe, don't worry, I got you. And unfortunately, that did not happen. Instead, a homeboy was like, when you bought the car, you didn't ask me, so I'm not going to help you with it. And he didn't help me. I had to sell my car, and I had to be without a car for a couple of months. I would say I was without a car for 3 and bought another car on the 4th month. So because of that trauma that you're talking about, since that time, I have made it a point that I would never, ever in my life depend on any man, either for financial support or for an opinion or for anything. So I always make sure, validation. So I always make sure that number one, I have the 6 month savings that we talked about, because I don't want to find myself here that I don't have a job and now I'm losing my car. And here I am looking after somebody who's supposed to be my support system and hold me down and tell me I got you and whatever. And when that doesn't happen, you become extremely disappointed. So it has really pushed me so much that every time I sit down, or at the beginning of the year, or whenever I sit down and I say, okay, what are we going to do this year? What are we going to do better? How are you going to increase your income? Last year you made $8. What are you going to do so that this year you can make $12? You know, so it gives me that opportunity to grow. And honestly, had it not been by that man, if he had came to my rescue, I would probably still be sitting here and feeling like, or I would be that girl who feels like Jordan must. You understand?
Yeah, you'd feel comfortable saying Jordan must.
Jordan must. But because he did that, right now, I mean, I can date any man, but I always say to a man, if I am dating you, trust and believe it's because I like you, not because I need anything from you. Because there's nothing you can do for me that I can't do for myself.
And it should be like that.
When I date you, I genuinely like you. It's not because I want something from you.
And together we can
be even better
and be better.
You understand? Because two heads are always better than one. And you know how also in America it's so hard when you are by yourself. I don't care how much money you make, you're still gonna feel the heavy load on you having to pay everything.
Because rent alone is expensive in the US. You know, mortgage is expensive.
It's a lot.
You know,
it's a lot. You do feel the load on your shoulders, and like you say, together you can be even greater. And stuff like that. But yes, that trauma has really helped me. Like I have sleepless nights when I have to think about what is my kids going to eat next. Not that they don't have any food. Of course my children can eat, they have food. I'm still working, I'm still generating income. But it's one of those things where it's like I don't even want my child to come to me and say, Mommy, can you take me here? And I say, we have to wait. Or I say, I can't do that right now. I don't want to be that
It's
parent.
okay to say you have to wait because you're teaching them, like
exactly, not because I don't have.
You don't have.
Yes, not because I don't have.
Because you don't want to raise spoiled kids too that say, Mommy, can I have this? And boom, Mommy. You know. So,
no, I do say no to them. Like if it were up to my kids, they would be eating Chick-fil-A and pizza every night. But I say no to things like that. But it's not because I don't have, it's because of that discipline, like you say. And that was one of the things that I vowed to myself. I don't ever want to say no to my kids because I don't have them. So it puts me in a place where I continuously have to keep working harder and harder every day. And even though I may be tired and stuff like that, I'm still like, I have to make sure that I don't starve, my children don't starve. I should have a roof over my head. Even though I know I have people that can accommodate me when shit hits the fan, but I'm still like, nope, it shouldn't get to that point, you know? So that's what I have learned. And I honestly, I really want everybody, if they can, to kind of develop the same strength, if I may call it strength, to just always keep going hard and hard and not giving up. Be resilient, because it's not everything that's going to work in your favor. But even if it's not working in your favor, keep trying, keep knocking on that door, keep pushing yourself harder and harder every day, and eventually something great will come out. But you will never know when, unless you keep trying.
So trauma hustle is a good thing.
It is, in my opinion.
No, it is for me too.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always like, but you know, how can I better myself? Because I don't want to go back to that first apartment that I had. You know what I mean? Oh, do I need to do this, like the career? Do I need to change a career? Do I need to apply for a better job with better benefits? And like now we're starting this podcast, you know, it's obviously another way of having an extra income, hopefully in the future. And also,
we don't want to mention that the subscribers will not subscribe.
No, but also be impactful. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I mean, obviously, whatever you do, you have to be rewarded for it.
Correct.
So, not that obviously that's the main thing. That's the main thing. No, but I feel like whatever you put your effort, your effort to, then you should be rewarded for that. So. Yeah, we're not doing any crime, obviously. No. So, so if we can, you know, if we grow this podcast and start earning something.
No, we have to rephrase. Not if we grow. When we grow.
When we grow.
Yes.
Yes, because we are gonna grow. Right?
We are,
so
definitely.
Hopefully, you guys like this and you subscribe and you share with your friends and family. That's the only way we can grow, right? Yeah, and we'll continue to bring out good content for you guys and. You guys can also, you know, let us know some topics that you guys would want us to cover. We can cover those as well. Yeah. So, what else?
Like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
But do you have anything else that you want to talk about? Okay. Well, cool. I feel like we've been chatting for a while now.
Yes, so we have. But you know what? It was all great conversation that I enjoyed, and I really hope that people are going to learn from it, and it would be beneficial to those people, especially the ones that want to travel and be au pairs and what to look out for, and pretty much to just prepare themselves better. Because I don't think we were prepared.
Yeah. Anyway, so I feel like I'm getting tired. Baby's getting tired. So I think we've covered everything.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you guys. We hope you like this kind of content, and you know, we're here to give you guys more. If you guys you know like it and you enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. You know, that's how we're gonna grow. And please don't forget to share with your friends and family. You know, and when should they expect us next? Sunday. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Guys, so thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.